and welcome to Americans Learn. My name is Lauren, and today I am going to be watching a fat electrician video. This one is about Spirit Halloween. Not gonna lie to you, I filmed about 4.5 minutes of a 10-minute video. I mean, it was only like 2.5 minutes of his talking, but like I did film some of this already, and then I realized I wasn't recording. Huzzah! Go me! Way to pay attention. Anyway, some of this stuff I will have learned, so some of it I will not have learned. And yeah, let's go. I don't really want to waste too much time. I'm hoping that the audio issues have resolved themselves. I know we've changed some stuff around. But yes, I do want to know what Nick has to say about this very interesting company. Because I love Spirit Halloween. I love that store. I spend way too much money there whenever I can get to it in the month of Halloween. In the month of Halloween. I can't always get there, but this year I did, and I spent too much money for my party, and hopefully it'll be stuff that I'll get to keep for a long time. Most of it. I've got a really cool wig. I have this. I've got lots of stuff. Anyway, I'm hopeful that this lasts me, you know? But anyway, don't want to waste any more time because I've already watched part of this once, and I want to get to the end. Let's go.
All right, it's October. Meaning we've got about 45 seconds until we're all bombarded by the sounds of children crying and in-laws complaining, all while Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You, sings in the background for the next 2 months of our lives, just completely unable to hear our own thoughts. But in the meantime,
before that
we're talking about Spirit Halloween, you know, the Halloween store that pops up in the abandoned Kmart every year and sells a bunch of single-use costumes that have funky names because they don't want to actually pay for a license for a famous character. That place. All right.
Like I said before, it's like, look, I like his, I don't know who, again, some of these people, I know they're his friends. I don't know who they are.
Because they don't want to actually.
I feel like veteran with a sign or something. Is that what that says? I feel like.
Pay for a license for a famous character.
I love her. I love her in there. House MILF. The two massive personalities. I love that he got these people to actually do this.
Character. That.
And then this one too, it's like one of them's Brandon Herrera, right? But the other one, I don't know who he is. And I honestly, honest to God, thought it was like the same person. I don't know who this other guy is. But anyway, in any case, I appreciate that he got his friends to be willing to do this. And obviously he just like, for some of them, he did screen grabs, but like, I appreciate that his friends are willing to work with him.
That place. All right, just so we're on the same page, it's going to sound like I'm talking smack about Spirit Halloween a lot throughout this video. I'm not, okay? A, I respect the hustle. B, I'm absolutely fascinated with how savage this business model actually is. Speaking of business, let's go ahead and get this ad out of the way.
And now a word from our sponsor, Delete Me.
Delete me! Did I do it right?
No, you were supposed to walk from the other side of the room just like I had to.
Work smarter, not harder.
This is why I never finish.
I heard that.
You forgot the light.
Oh, hey. Thanks.
Good.
Anyways, Delete Me. Super straight.
I said it before. I'll say it again just because I really do appreciate that these two have a relationship that allows them to do this. I think it's very fun. And I like that I can tell just in general that there is a genuine love and respect there, which allows them to be horrible to each other during the ad reads. I find it very funny. Let's continue.
Straightforward business. You give them money, they turn around and they make sure the data brokers aren't selling your personal information on the internet. So here's how this happens. Pretty much anytime you use a free app or internet service, that app or service isn't actually free. What they're doing is they're harvesting your personal information, then they turn around, they sell it to data brokers, and then the data brokers sell it to anybody that has money. The good news is these data brokers are legally required to stop selling your personal information if you formally ask them to. The problem is there's a bunch of different data brokers and they all have a different process for you to formally request that they quit selling your information. That's where Delete Me comes in. Delete Me monitors all the biggest data brokers for your personal information, and as soon as it comes up for sale, they automatically write in and have them take it down as soon as possible. And then as long as you're subscribed to Delete Me, they will continue to monitor, checking and rechecking for your personal information at these data brokers over and over and over again to make sure if they do ever come in contact with your data again, they have to delete it again. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I will have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right.
That discount code is going to be, you know, we'll link to his video, so you'll be able to go there and find it.
The story begins in the early 1980s with the founders.
If for some bizarre reason you're watching this before you watched his video, which if you are doing that, why are you doing that?
Spirit Halloween, a guy by the name of Joe Marver. And no, I'm not about to tell you the story about some dude that grew up and his favorite holiday was Halloween and he wanted to run a costume store and he overcame adversity to run the biggest costume store in the world. No, he was running a normal brick and mortar women's apparel store known as Spirit Women's Discount Apparel. And then
which again is interesting. Like, why would it now I kind of want to know why they called it that. Like, why do they call it Spirit Women's Discount Apparel? Like, I feel like it seems an odd name, but that's neither here nor there.
October in like 1981, 1982, there was this locally owned pop-up Halloween store that would go into the empty business right next door to him, and he noticed that they were getting more traffic and more customers in that single month than he was getting all year long.
Which is crazy. But it also like does lend to the thought of like, maybe if you had Halloween stores more readily available around the year, people would actually go to them. But maybe that would kind of defeat the purpose of, it would defeat the purpose of it. You know, it's like, hey, we can actually make a lot of money if we only sell it right now. I think there is one or two permanent ones like scattered around, but nah.
Being an entrepreneur immediately recognizes how brilliant this business strategy actually is, because a significant portion of the revenue that a company makes during the entire year is actually made just during the holiday season, right? It's the end of the year. It's the playoffs. It's the Super Bowl. It's where you're getting the most bang for your buck.
'Tis the season to be merry.
Well, that's my name.
Oh, shit.
And this Halloween store is essentially skipping all the regular season games and just showing up straight to the playoffs like it's a championship, making a ton of money, and then
leaving. I love it. This is about as far as I watched before, just so you know. So at this point on, it's new to me also. But no, I worked at a Halloween hallway, which is like a Spirit Halloween, is the same deal. Like there's like a whole bunch of them that would pop up in and around the city. And I worked at one of them for a while. Or one year. I worked at it for 1 year, and it's a lot. I worked at a couple of different locations. One of them was dead, empty, dead skis. No one came in. I was always alone there for like 7 hours at a time, and it was crushing. The ones that were downtown did a lot better, but like, it's like, I mean, in my experience, again, like a lot of the time I was at this one like really out of the way store. I was like, this cannot be financially worth it. But it apparently is.
Dipping out and taking the other 10 months of the year off. It's brilliant. Now that in itself is enough, but then you look at what these Halloween stores are selling and it makes it that much more appealing because they have extremely low expectations, right? This is basically a single serving Halloween costume, right? Nobody needs to be dressing up like a slutty nurse multiple times.
Except for, yes, they do. Like, look, most people I know, at least, I know a lot of people who will like rotate different costumes. I personally also have like a bunch of different costumes that I kind of keep in like a rota. But like if I get, and I almost never ever ever buy an actual costume from a Spirit Halloween or anything, like not the thing you get in the packages. It just never looks good on me, but it looks good on some people. So it's like, but if you're gonna do that, yeah, you're gonna wear it more than once. Like you want it to at least get out of this Halloween season with it. Like I threw a huge party the other day. I did not go to the party the next day because I was working, but like, on Halloween itself, there's gonna be like, there's events around and you want to dress up for those events. Like there's like a parade you can go to. And it's like, there's some cool stuff you can do, but you do like, I feel like a lot of people will wear the same costume to all of them is my whole point. People wear the same. It's like, especially because at Halloween Hallway or Spirit or whatever, those costumes are expensive. They're so expensive. So it's like, you better hope you're keeping that for a little bit longer than just one use.
Costume needs to function for like the 4 to 6 hours that you're going to be wearing it during Halloween, and then you're going to throw it in the trash. And guess what? Because you're only wearing that costume for one night, you don't really care if it's comfortable. You don't really care if it fits that great. Just the standard for the product that they have to sell, there is no standard. The bar for that is in hell. Okay, nobody cares. Everybody that goes into a Spirit Halloween knows beyond the shadow of a doubt they're basically buying garbage.
I mean, yes.
Sputnik.
Wow, I don't have the worst costume anymore.
I like that clip though of Friends where like Matthew Perry's like, I don't have the worst costume anymore. But then you got people behind him.
Sputnik.
But then, like, look, there's this person in a cow costume. Like, why is the cow costume worse than, like, better than the bunny costume? Like, it's this. Anyway, that's totally irrelevant to the thing at hand here. But it's like, my point is, I am going to make sure that my costumes, I do not have the kind of money to spend that on a Halloween costume like that isn't going to be able to go through multiple uses. Like, even this cloak, I got this cloak years ago at like a Ren fair, because like when I got there, it was kind of nice, but then like as the day went on, it got really cold. So I literally bought the cloak because I was freezing. I was wearing like a shirt, like long shirt, skirt, you know, like I'd kind of dressed up a little bit, but it wasn't like I was doing the slutty Ren fair thing. But like I was like, I needed this, and now it's like I have it and I loved it, and I wear it all the time. Not all the time, that's a lie. I wear it sometimes. It's like a go blanket. It's very cozy, especially right now because our heat's not working again. But anyway, my point is, most of the costumes that I make and create, I keep many of the pieces. I like to make it stuff that like, oh, I can use this in later life, you know, multi-use costumes / clothing. I don't know, is it because I'm cheap or because I'm practical? It could go either way.
Wow, I don't have the worst costume anymore.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because everybody knows exactly what they're getting into, okay? It's like Little Caesars Pizza, right? What's their slogan? Hot and ready. Is it good pizza? Motherfucker, it's hot and it's ready and it costs $5. If you want it or not, you know what you're getting into. And I know what you're thinking.
True.
What about Karen, right? We all have that one aunt. Our mom has that one friend. We all know that woman that has the audacity to go to a restaurant, eat the entire entree, and then bitch that it wasn't cooked right, trying to get a discount, if not get the entire thing for free. That's the beauty of the entire thing. The entire business model has anti-Karen technology integrated right in, right? Because guess what? You can't be dissatisfied with how your Halloween costume performed until after Halloween. And guess what's gonna happen after Halloween when Karen rolls up in her white Suburban ready to berate a bunch of retail workers about how itchy little Timmy's eczema is after wearing his fucking costume? Nothing's gonna happen because it's an empty fucking building now. They're gone.
That is good. I hadn't really thought about that. Because, like, again, you close down the day after Halloween, but we don't accept refunds. I say we as if I still work there. I worked there 1 year, 6 years ago. But, like, they don't, like, every Spirit Halloween I've ever been to, no refunds. It is, like, you can't returns, no refunds. This is it. Like, you buy the thing, you're buying the thing. It's yours now, regardless of whether or not it, like, worked. Or if you actually like it when it comes day of. It's like, sorry. Like, that is what it is. It is what it is. But I hadn't really considered that, yeah, you know what? She can't come and complain. The Karen. I actually don't know any Karen. Like, I've interacted with quite a few of them because I work food service, but like, I don't know what anybody, like I have some pretty terrible family members, but they are not like banging down the door, like being horrible to the customers usually. Like to the service workers, because they're a little bit like, I feel like maybe anxiety gets to them or something. They would be Karens, except for the fact that they are nervous about talking to people. I don't know. Anyway, I hadn't considered the anti-Karen technology of a Spirit Halloween by just closing right away. Because even like little things, like I worked at a store once, and like there was a rule that was like no cash back. It said it in multiple different locations. It was like you can get store credit or you can exchange it for something of equal or lesser value. Like no cash back. I had a guy like berate me for like 10 minutes about like it was $8 and he didn't want and I was like, it says it right here. It said it on your receipt. It says it on the wall behind me. He was like, it wasn't clear. I was like, what? Because someone didn't tell you to your face when you bought the thing, you can't get cash back? I don't, what? No. So it's like he like berated me for like 10 minutes. I finally got my manager over off of his lunch break. My manager came over and had proceeded to have the exact same conversation with this man who finally walked away with store credit. I was like, I'm not giving you cash. Like, what do you mean? Like, anyway, if we had had the ability to not have to deal with that, that would have made my life so much easier.
Sorry.
These temporary Halloween stores literally get to roll up during the holiday season, the busiest, most profitable time of the year, and open a new store increasing traffic because everybody wants to go check out the new store, and they open it under the pretenses that they're having a going out of business sale, which also increases the amount of foot traffic and people that want to go to this store. And then they make all their money and then they fucking dip. It's absolutely brilliant. It's so good. It feels like it's a bank heist, but it's completely above the table and fair game. So Joe, being an entrepreneur, recognizes this and is like, yo, I'm gonna do that from now on. And in 1983, he converts Spirit Women's Discount Apparel into Spirit Halloween. He makes over 6 figures in like 6 weeks.
Dang.
And then he's like, yeah, I'm doing this from now on. From there, every year he opens up more and more Spirit Halloween stores in his region. And then by the 1990s, he's operating like 60 stores every single year. And in 1999, he actually gets bought out by Spencer's Gifts. From there, he becomes the CEO.
Spencer's Gifts owns, you know what, that kind of tracks. It kind of makes sense that Spencer's bought this thing.
For a little bit. Now I still believe he sits on the board, but from here is where things really start to take off for the company and they get absolutely huge. Fast forward to 2024, they're operating 1,500 of these stores all over the country. And they're not just like small retail places on Main Street in small town America. No, these are like abandoned Kmarts that are at least 10,000 square feet or more. Okay, I'm gonna say that a little bit slower because I don't feel like you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay? Spirit Halloween manages to open, operate, and close down 1,500 10,000 square foot retail spaces in the span of 8 to 6 weeks.
Okay, I mean, when he puts it that way, it is more impressive. Some of them, though, are much smaller than that. Some of them are that big. Not all of them are that big. I've been to small spirits, and I've been to huge ones. But they do manage to cram a lot of stuff in there. And anyway, the point is, the opening, the running, the closing in a 6-week period, that is kind of crazy. And it does take a long time. Like I said, I've worked at a pop-up store like that before, and the shutdown, the closing, and the organizing of everything takes forever. It takes forever. For us, at least, though, like I did this in 2016, right? And we're closing down as the World Series was happening. So we're all like on bated breath, like listening to like the game, the World Series, like the Chicago Cubs were in the World Series. And we're just all like putting stuff away. But it's like, wait, shut up, listen, what's happening? So like that was kind of fun. But like, because we had something to listen to that was interesting to us and relevant. But yeah, I guess the speed of it all is kind of impressive.
You understand how fucking crazy that is? Spirit Halloween has some of the best logistical capabilities of any entity on the planet. Off the top of my head, the only ones that are competing with Spirit Halloween are like the United States military and Amazon Prime. That's it. Those are the only people that have better logistics than this fucking Halloween store. And what's crazy is there's still an even more impressive aspect to this business because most of their full-time employees are on this realty team, and this realty team goes around and gets all the leases for these 1,500 locations, right? Do you understand?
Because like everyone who works at the store is a temp. Like everyone who works at those stores is just the temp. Sometimes there's a manager, someone who's been working with them for multiple years or something, but they're a temp. They're a seasonal hire. I had never considered there are full-time employees at Halloween Hallway. Or not Halloween Hallway, at Spirit Halloween.
The ability of those realtors to close a deal, it's absolutely insane. Just so we're all on the same page, these realtors' full-time job is to track down and find companies that have gone out of business and still have their retail space. And then they roll up being like, hey, I work for Spirit Halloween. Here's my business card. You like that? That logo of the Grim Reaper as I'm coming to visit you after your business just died? By the way, that's not the Grim Reaper. That's Jack the Reaper. It's a play on Jack the Ripper. Ha ha.
He has a name?
Anyways, sorry your business just died, but I had an interesting proposal. What if I throw a Halloween party inside of its corpse?
Goth.
It's literally the commercial real estate equivalent of like donating your body to science, right? They're just rolling up to old Best Buys and Kmart's like, hey, you're not selling flat screens in here anymore. Let me get some animatronic skeletons and shit in here. Sell some fake blood, you know? Why not? The entire business model is hilarious because it seems like this savage cutthroat business model, but actually literally nobody's getting hurt because it's like, what else are you gonna do with that empty retail space? You know what I mean? Like you get to make a couple of bucks. All the people in town get to drag their little 3 to 5 year old kids to see the haunted house while they buy buy their Halloween costume,
dip,
and they
really?
fuck off till next year. Like, there's no losers in the entire equation.
Did people do that? They like their parents would take them to a Spirit Halloween and say it's a haunted house? That's brilliant, actually.
And it shows because they are making a ton of money in a 6-week span. Last year, they made $1.1 billion in 6 weeks, okay? That's like $23 million a
6
day.
weeks.
That's $220,000 per employee. Now, granted, that's revenue.
And again, they do charge a lot for everything in there. Everything in there is super overpriced, but some of it's quite well made. So dang.
Not profit. I'm sure they have a ton of overhead on top of that, but it's still impressive that they're making $1.1 billion in 6 weeks. A couple of other interesting things about Halloween. They absolutely do not like being made fun of. How do I know this? Well, because the infamous Saturday Night Live skit where they did like a 3-minute bit making fun of Spirit Halloween, and then Spirit Halloween retaliated by tweeting this. I wonder if they're gonna make.
I mean, that's kind of funny though. Like, maybe it was a joke both direct. Maybe? Like, maybe it was done in good faith.
A fat electrician costume next. You know what? I'll do it.
I'm a piece of fucking white trash, I say it proudly. Here, tell these people something they don't know about me.
All right, let's end this on the high note. Spirit of Halloween, in addition to making a ton of money, also runs a children's charity known as Spirit of Children. And since 2006, they have raised over $146 million, as well as provided all the costumes and necessities for these children's hospitals to be able to throw Halloween parties every single year. So in conclusion, that is Spirit Halloween, probably the most wholesomely savage company on the planet. They literally show up with their Grim Reaper logo, offer to throw a Halloween party in the ruins of your failed business, make a ton of money, and then dip out before Karen can show up wanting to return the product. And then they donate a bunch of money to children's hospitals and then get ready to do it all over again next year. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out. I wonder how much money Mariah Carey makes in royalties every single holiday season.
Dang. She never has to work again. Alrighty. Whee! Back down we go. That was quite informative. I really wasn't sure what to expect with that, but no, a lot of that was not, in fact, what I expected. I kind of like it when he does these little deep dives into businesses and such. It's like, I'm like, oh, good for that. I always liked, that's one of the reasons I like the Fat Files a lot, I think. It's like, I love these little deep dives into the businesses that I never really would have thought of deep diving into. But now it makes me more interested. And it's like, and I'm glad, I'm like, you know what? Good. I'm not mad at myself then for spending money at this store. You know, it seems like they're on the up and up. And it's like I said, again, I am one of those people who I like to reuse everything as much as I can for as long as I can. So hopefully the stuff that I bought this year will remain useful. I mean, mostly what I get from them though is decorations. So I get a lot of decorations. I get like little things like this, little jewelry things. I got a really baller wig. So it's like, I got some makeup from them that sucked and I was really upset about that. The makeup does like, I still look kind of wonky from the makeup I bought from them, but it's fine. And so yeah, I liked it. Halloween, I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite holiday. I love anything to do with it. I really enjoy like the spooky season. I love everything about it. So Spirit Halloween, good times for me. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.